Hello! Today we will talk about JSON Web Tokens, or JWT for short. Let's break down the JWT token. But before we start, there is one thing to talk about. In JWT tokens, like in many other contexts, digital signatures are used. So let's start with digital signatures. For example, let's say we have an online store. The user adds some items to the cart and proceeds to check out. The server calculates the total amount and sends it to the client. The client accepts the total and sends it back to the server. How can server trust this data? Well, we can sign that data using a digital signature. A digital signature is a scheme for verifying the authenticity of a message. To sign the data, we need a secret key. As the name suggests, this key is secret and known only to the server. We also need to decide on a hashing algorithm to create a signature. Let's use the SHA-256 algorithm this time. So let's create the function that signs the data. First, we need to create a signature. To create a signature, we need to combine the data with the key and then hash it using the hashing algorithm, in our case SHA-256. Then we need to combine the data and the signature with a dot as a separator. And now we can return the signed message. Let's generate our signed message. So message total 200 and signed message. Now we can print the result, and this is our signed message. Now let's create a simple function that verifies the signature. So first we need to separate the data and signature using split method. Then we need to check if the signature is valid. Here we need to copy this and paste it here, but let's create a new function that will create a signature. Here we can type return SHA-256 data plus secret key and code, and just simply pass get signature here with data, and same here. And if the signature is invalid, we'll raise an error, value error, invalid signature. Else we will return data. Now let's try to verify the signed data. Unsign signed message. Also, let's create hijacked message to check our implementation. And let's try to unsign hijacked message. Now let's clear the terminal and run the code. Oops, invalid signature. This way you can ensure that the data generated by the server and given to the user has not been modified by the user and is sent back to the server unchanged. The same principle applies to signatures used in JWT tokens. A JWT token consists of three parts: header, payload, and signature. Let me show you a pseudocode example for better understanding. The first part is the header, which contains information about the hashing algorithm and token type. Alg is for algorithm, and type is for type of the token. The next is the payload. The payload carries claims, in other words, useful data such as the expiration date, user ID, user role, permissions, etc. Also, we need the secret key here as well. Now we need to create the unsigned token. The unsigned token is created by combining the header and payload with dot as a separator. And now we can create a signature by hashing the unsigned token with the secret key. And the final token is created by combining the unsigned token and signature with a dot separator. So how does JWT work? The user logs in with credentials, for example, username and password or a social media account. The authentication server creates and sends a JWT token to the user, and the user includes the JWT token in every request to the application. The application server verifies the token and retrieves user information without needing to check the database. Now that we know what JWT tokens are, let's try to create one. Let's use the PyJWT library because it provides a simple way to create and verify JWT tokens. So first we need a secret key. Now we can create the function issueJWT that takes expiration, user ID and role as arguments. And now we can create the header. As said earlier, the header contains information about the hashing algorithm and the token type. The ALG property specifies the hashing algorithm that is used to create the signature, and the TYP property specifies the token type. The TYP is not a typo, it's a standard field in the JWT header. Now that we've created the header, we can create the payload. In the expression, let's take the current time and add the expiration to it. Now we can finally create our token using JWT encode function. In the JWT encode function we need to specify the payload itself, secret key, also we need to specify the algorithm and specify the headers. In our case we have only one of them. And now we can return the token. Now let's create the token, issueJWT for 1 hour, user ID 1 and role user. Now let's print the token and run the code. And basically that's it. We've created a JWT token. Now let's try to create a function that verifies the JWT token. The verified JWT function takes a token as an argument and tries to decode it using the JWT decode function. The JWT decode function takes the token, secret key, and also we need to specify the allowed hashing algorithms to decode the signature. If the token is signed with a different algorithm, an error will be raised. Now we can type return decoded and create exception. Except JWT expired signature error. And another exception, except JWT invalid token. Now let's verify our token, print verified JWT and pass the token here. Let's also clear the terminal. And here's our JWT token, and this is our payload. Also, you can check any token you have by visiting jwt.io. Let's check the token we've created. So first, here you need to specify the secret key, your secret key. In our case, secret key is secret key. And also, let's copy our JWT token and pass it to the encoded field. So here's our payload and header. And signature verified, well, great. But there are a few more things to consider when working with JWT tokens. When banning a user, you can't invalidate a JWT token. The token is valid until it expires. So if you need to ban a user, you need to make crutches, like blacklisting tokens. If you are using JWT tokens for authorization, you should always require a signature. The JWT standard allows you to create a token without a signature, but an unsigned JWT token can be easily modified by attackers to change the user role, user ID or any other data in the token, gaining access to the admin panel or other sensitive data. So please, don't forget to sign your JWT tokens.